helping. There we go. We are live. We had some technical difficulties. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another amazing show for you guys. Welcome to another amazing episode of People Helping People. Yeah. What's everybody fighting for? Why can't people help people? That's the question.
Oh my gosh, it's people helping people!
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to another amazing episode of People Helping People. Now, we are live all over the board. We're live on Facebook. We're live on 2 different YouTubes. We are, you know what? I forgot about our second Instagram here. Hold on just one moment. There we go. Now, we are live on 2 Instagrams. Oh, man. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Okay. I think that we're live on 2 Instagrams now. There we go. People Helping People is live. Nice. Well, I just want you guys to know that this has been so much fun. And we are on, what is it, day 6? Day 6 of 30 live streams in 30 days. It has been such an incredible journey to embark on, and we've talked to so many amazing people so far, and I've been having so much fun doing this show. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I am so grateful for everybody that's been tuning in and that has been a part of the conversation, because the biggest thing for me is having interactions with you guys coming into the chats, building out that community. And this show today is going to be about you guys. I'm going to tell you guys my story, my why, my reason for doing what I do. And I would love to open the lines for everybody to ask questions. I want this to be let's see here. Yeah, I want this to be, sorry guys, I'm checking Instagram, making sure that it's working. And we also have a third live stream over here going, making sure this one's working. It looks like it is. But I want this to be an interactive show. I want you guys to be able to ask questions and be a part of our conversations. If we have guests here, I want you guys to be involved. I think that that's the beauty of doing a live stream, is having that interaction, having that community, having the outreach, and knowing that your guys' stories, your guys' interactions, your comments and questions are heard. Because again, we wouldn't be here without you guys watching. So I really, really sincerely appreciate it. Sorry, got to get some things organized here. Let's start off with a nice little sip of Joe. How sweet it is. And I'm playing with my phone over here to make sure that we are live on our other Instagram. And I mean, the reality of the situation is you guys you're learning with me. You're watching me learn how to do this stuff in real time. I embarked on a journey to start a podcast where I could really help people, where I could either give some wisdom of my own or bring people on that could give wisdom to the viewers. And so, yeah, you're going to watch me fail. You're going to watch me, slip up on my words and not have things to say sometimes. And sometimes I may have like a hypoglycemic attack. I'm a diabetic, or my blood sugars may be really high. But that's what this is all about. It's just being real, being honest with my viewers, and letting you guys kind of see behind the curtains and know what it looks like to build something from nothing. And that's what we're doing right now. So I thank you all for joining. If you're just joining right now, This is an open discussion podcast, okay? This one is going to be about you guys. I will be talking about my story, but if you have questions for me, please leave it in the comments there, and I'm going to be reading everybody's questions or comments, and we're going to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of interaction between yourself and me. And yeah, let's see here. I really wanted to discuss with you guys my why, my reason for doing this, because I mean, there are many, but the true reason, not only to help people, but you know, I had what Smoking Molly Collie says, I love Black Peter. You know, like I said, we're going to be reading all the comments. So, you know, good for you, Smoking Molly Collie. We appreciate you joining in on the chat. And, you know, if you enjoy and love Black Peter, that's good on you. Good on you. And we got a couple people joining over here on Instagram. Jeffy, I see you out there. Brianna Hoffenbrody, I hope I said that right. We see you guys out there. We're getting a little behind the scene look from the Instagram. And yeah, let's see here. Let's see if we can go ahead and open this up. Hey, Miss Kayla. Is it all done? All right. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Huh? Cool. All right. Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. So for those of you that don't know, I own a car rental agency. And so today has been really hectic. I had a vehicle that smelled like smoke. Somebody had been smoking in it, and we had to get it out right before the show. We got it booked. And so it was a matter of getting it vacuumed, putting an ozone generator in it, and trying to get that thing smelling good before it hit the road. And it, I think we got it as good as it could possibly be. So Kayla just ran it over to the gas station, make sure it's filled up with fuel. And she took photos of it. And, you know, what a teammate. Gosh, I'm so blessed. I got the best teammate on the planet. So in any event, let's go ahead and shout out our sponsors. We got some sponsors of the show here, and we don't want to go without giving them some love. So let's go tune into the sponsors of People Helping People. This episode of People Helping People Live is sponsored by T-Town Boxing, Tucson's home for boxing, kickboxing, and recovery classes for all ages. T-Town Boxing isn't just a gym. It's a community where you can build confidence, discipline, lifelong skills, whether you're stepping into the ring for the first time or sharpening your techniques. From kids to adults, beginners to experienced fighters, T-Town Boxing offers a space to grow, train, and challenge yourself. So, if you're ready to push your limits and join an amazing community, reach out to T-Town Boxing on Instagram at Instagram.com/T-Town Boxing or their website, boxingtucson.com. Again, Instagram.com/T-Town Boxing or their website, boxingtucson.com. Back to the show. I had a creepy sound on the soundboard. That was great. T-Town Boxing, we really appreciate you, and we are really, really happy to have you here as a sponsor of People Helping People. And we do have another sponsor. I'm going to be reading this one off. These guys are really out here doing God's work. They are giving away vehicles to underprivileged individuals that may be stricken by some kind of financial hardship. It's carsfortucson.org. And yeah, let's dive into it. One car repair can create a powerful ripple effect. For a low-income family struggling with housing, a reliable vehicle means they can hold on to their job, access childcare, and avoid spiraling into homelessness. Cars for Tucson understands this. They exist to provide affordable, sometimes free, critical car repairs to ensure these families stay connected to their livelihoods and their homes. The goal is to give vehicles out as well. Like I said, giving cars away. Super incredible. That's carsfortucson.org. If you want to be a part of the positive ripple effect, Your donation helps prevent homelessness, one car or one repair at a time. Visit carsfortucson.org to learn more. Again, that's carsfortucson.org. Thank you guys for being a sponsor of the show. We are so proud to be representing you. Really do appreciate it. And again, if you're just joining us, this show is going to be a solo show. I'm going to be talking about my reasons why, my purpose, my drive, the reasons why I do what I do, and why this show means so much to me. So if you have any questions as we go, I want to open the lines to you guys as my viewers and answer any questions or comments that you guys have. And I really do appreciate anybody that's joining us and has been along for the ride. So let's kind of get into it. This might be a bit of a heavy story. I've never really told the full thing from nose to tail because I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and Crohn's disease back in 2018 I want to say on the same day, but I went into the hospital and yeah, I was so exhausted that when I was driving around, I was falling asleep behind the wheel. And would wake up to people honking at me at red lights. So any chance I got, I was just passing out. And I couldn't understand what was wrong with me. At the time, I had an incredible job at corporate AT&T. I had worked my way up the ladder from a salesman to a manager to an integrated solutions expert, to where I had a territory and I was out taking care of business and doing sales, almost like a freelance sales job. And yeah, I just I couldn't keep my eyes open, and I couldn't figure out why. So eventually I got so tired and so weak and so withered away. I drove myself into the hospital. I remember the last turn before driving myself into the hospital, my arms felt so heavy that it was hard for me to reach the top of the steering wheel to turn the car into the hospital. So I walked into the hospital and they immediately rushed me in. They looked at me and just rushed me in. I probably wasn't looking too good. They rushed me in, and the first thing they did is they check your blood pressure and, see if you have a fever. And they immediately ran in and checked my blood sugar. And my blood sugar was in the high 600s. And the doctor comes in. He's like, "Oh, so you're a diabetic?" I'm like, "No. What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, you're a diabetic." And I'm like, what? Newsflash. So the journey began. And that was one of my two symptoms that I was having. Not only was I really tired, and this may be a little bit graphic, but I was bleeding out of every orifice of my body. Every 15 to 20 minutes, I had to use the restroom. And gosh, it was just, everything was a bloody mess, no matter what. I was throwing up blood. I was having nosebleeds. I was bleeding out of the front, bleeding out of the back downstairs. And it was just a really horrific feeling. I had like convulsions at the time. Like my stomach would just seize up and I would end up puking because there was so much pain. And so the doctor said, "Okay, well, you're type 1 diabetic. We got that dialed in. Let's figure out what's going on with your stomach." And so, oh, hello, Vince. I see you out there. Thank you for joining us. So in any event, they said, let's see what's going on with your stomach. And they started running a bunch of tests on me. They were trying to figure out if I had some kind of very rare bug that I guess I forget it. It had an acronym, and it was this really rare bug that you'd get from the Middle East. And so they kept me in solitary confinement. It felt like I was in an insane asylum because I was in this one room in the hospital that just had one little window. And before people would come in, they would put on hazmat suits. And so I'm laying there. I just learned I'm a type 1 diabetic. And now I'm being handled by people in hazmat suits. And they had to do all kinds of tests. When they're trying to figure out what's going on with your stomach, I mean, I had tubes in and out of every hole of my body at times. And yeah, I really was, I was scared for my life because I was losing weight extremely fast. You know, I walk around comfortably at about 165, 175 pounds. And I think when I went into the hospital, I was about 145 pounds and dwindling quickly. So they're testing me, and I'm in this solitary confinement for almost 2 weeks. And they finally boil it down to having Crohn's, which took almost a month of them testing me in all these different facilities and bringing in experts. And so after that, they sent me home. They said, all right, well, you're diabetic. Here's some needles. Here's some insulin. Here's a huge stack of prescriptions. I was on maybe 8 different medications, and 6 of which I would have had to have taken for the rest of my life. And so I went home. And I was bouncing in and out of the ER so often. I'd go home and my blood sugars would spike again like crazy, and I couldn't get them down. No matter how much insulin I took, it would spike like crazy. And I eventually would drive myself back to the hospital, and I would sit there for another week or so, 2 weeks. And this happened for a good 6 months. And I remember specifically, I'm down to about 125 pounds at this point. I'm just losing weight so fast. I'm sitting on the toilet. It's just full of blood. I have my head in the, I'm sorry if this is really graphic, but this is the reality of what had happened. I had my head in a bathtub, and the bathtub is full of blood. And yeah, so I ended up driving myself back to the hospital, and I'm sitting there in the ICU. There's people around me that had much worse things going on in their lives. I remember there's people to my left having seizures. The guy to my right, he had some terminal disease. And there I was, and I'm getting poked and prodded and tested, and they're figuring out why, the budesonide and all these other drugs that they gave me aren't helping. So yeah. And my ma calls me, and I remember this moment specifically. My ma calls me, and she is in tears. Now, my Nana wasn't doing so well at the time, her mother. So she calls me. She's completely destroyed. She's in tears. And my papa as well, my Nana's husband, is dying as well. So I'm in the hospital in the ICU. My family doesn't know this at the time. And I remember calling my mom, and she's bawling her eyes out because her mom is passing. And I had to mute the phone because there's so much happening in the ICU, and the heart monitors are going off, and people are coming in to check and make sure I'm still alive. And the guys next to me, I just remember the guy next to me having grand mal seizures all the time. And there's people getting wheeled in and out. I mean, it's chaos for anybody that works in the hospital and caretaking businesses. My hat's off to you, because that is not an easy job. And they definitely saved my life. But anyhow, I'm on the phone with my mom, and I have to mute the conversation so she can't hear that I am clearly in a hospital. and just save face for my mother, because I didn't think that she could handle her son dying in Arizona while she's in Oregon, her mom dying, and her stepdad not doing so well. So I just kept it in. Fast forward, I eventually told my mother after my Nana had passed what was going on. And she came down to visit me, and she had to remind me after she visited me how weak I was. And I'm sorry, guys, this is tough for me to talk about. Like I said, I've never told this story through and through. But she had to remind me how weak I was, because I was on so many pain medications. I was on so many different types of drugs that these doctors were prescribing me just so I could eat food and stay alive. But she had to remind me how weak I was. And, I could barely make it up the stairs without grabbing the railing. And I had to have her open up a bottle of water for me. And I just was laying in my bed. I couldn't do much. And when she left, she told me that she thought it was going to be the last time that she saw me. So she flew down my sister and my cousin to see me before what she thought was an inevitable was going to happen. And my sis and my cuz, they come to visit me, and I'm still in the bed, withering away. I'm down to about 120 pounds at this point. Just skin and bones. There's nothing left. My body has eaten itself and has come out of me in any which direction. So they came to visit me, and they really put on a good show. And what they had told me afterwards is that every time they left the room, they would just break down crying because of the state that I was in, the way that I was looking and acting and feeling. So, yeah, it was a scary time, to say the least. And fast forward, I'm still alive, thankfully, right? But fast forward, and I called my mom because I lost my AT&T job. They fired me because of this situation. I was about to, I lost my house, but I was on the cusp of losing my house when I called my ma. And I lost everything. So I had worked my way up this corporate ladder. I had built this life that I loved, and it all just came crashing down. My health was the number one priority. It doesn't matter about the things that I had built, but when I look back now, I'm like, man, I really, really was proud of myself and the things that I had accomplished, and all of that was stripped away from me, as well as my manhood, as well as my willingness and ability to take care of myself was all stripped away from me. So I called my mom, and in the first time in my life, because I'm a prideful individual to a fault, I asked for help. And she, of course, was just ecstatic, like, woohoo, come on home. Like, I cannot wait to have you back at the house. And it was a tough pill to swallow, because now at the tail end, 29 years old, I'm about to be a 30-year-old man, and I'm back at home. Well, I get there, I pack up everything, and I go drive to Oregon. And I remember driving my 4Runner back to Oregon. Excuse me. I remember driving my 4Runner back to Oregon, and I always stop in San Diego. There's something, Venice Beach. I like to stop at the beach when I can. And I stopped, and I was looking out at the ocean and thinking, I've really lived a lot of life. It's okay. So So anyways, I head north and I make it home. So it's all good. I'm back at the house. I apologize, guys, but I make it home, and now the recovery begins. I eat one meal for 6 months. I eat nothing but carrots, potatoes, celery, and onions. I blended them up and I ate that stew with nothing else but salt and water for 6 months just to see if I could recover. My stomach was still a mess. I was still skinny, and it started working. I started putting on weight. And it was slow, but I started putting on weight. And I had these 2 dumbbells that, I just put in the reps that I could. It wasn't much, but I put in the reps that I could. And eventually I got to the point where I could go to the gym. So I did. Day 1 in the gym was me walking in and going on the stair stepper for maybe 30 seconds. I was still very frail, maybe 135 pounds at this point. I'd put on a good amount of weight from where I was, but I was so frail. So I go in for a minute on the stair stepper, and I'd be completely winded, sweating, and hobble out of there. And I go home and I'd say, all right, one more day. And yeah, so day 2, I go back to the gym and I'd say, all right, go hit that stair stepper. And I did. And it'd be 2 minutes the next day. And then the next day, we bump it up to 5. And so on and so forth until finally, I was to the point where I could really work out. And I was spending, an hour, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. I mean, it was such an amazing escape and getaway from being home and sick. And trying not to wallow in the fact that I was a 30-year-old man living at home with his parents because I was so sick. I needed help to recover. Then I ended up going down to Mexico. I went to Mexico because I heard that there was a cure for type 1 diabetes or a cure for autoimmune diseases, and that was stem cells. So I went to Mexico, my ma and I got stem cells. Granted, I was still having stomach issues. I was still having a lot of ups and downs and highs and lows with my diabetes because I was learning now how to become a diabetic after 28 years of never even really looking into it or knowing much about it. So I'm relearning how to eat. I'm relearning how to live. I'm relearning how to hydrate. I'm relearning how to exercise and rebuilding my body, my mind, everything around me. And I went down and got stem cells. Stem cells changed my life in so many ways. Now, did they cure me of type 1 diabetes? No. Did they cure me of Crohn's disease? No. But what stem cells did was they gave me the energy to be able to take on more. The energy that I got from the stem cells was unlike anything else. When your health is stripped from you and you don't have the energy that you used to have, and then all of a sudden, within one injection, one drip, you're back to where you used to be, if not better. So I had this new outlook on everything. I was so excited because I finally felt that energy again. And I have to advocate for stem cells for anybody that feels like they may need them. You have to get them out of the country to go get something potent enough, because they dole them down here in the United States and actually ban the best stem cells that you can get here in the US. So I'm a huge advocate for stem cells because they absolutely 100% saved my life. So fast forward, I've got my stem cells. I'm back in the gym. I'm putting on weight. I'm trying to learn continuously, and it's still an uphill battle. This is 2019. Still learning how to be a diabetic. Still learning how to function. I get home and I continue to push forward. I continue to try and weed out all these medications that these doctors had put me on. And, through me stepping into a diet that changed my life, I was able to do so. And the diet that changed my life was the carnivore diet. The carnivore diet isn't just a diet that, I don't know, a lot of people just, they have so many qualms with meat, which I understand. It's really hard to find good meat. But what the carnivore diet does for you is it mitigates all the other shit that you put in your body on a daily basis. I'm talking anything that's processed at all, refined sugars, the flour that we put in our body. I mean, absolutely anything and everything. And it allows your body to have a reset. It allows your body time to replenish and rejuvenate. So I did the carnivore diet, and the carnivore diet changed my life as well. It completely helped me get my Crohn's under control. And these stem cells, in conjunction with the carnivore diet, got me to a point where I was so strong that I took on one of the most physically demanding jobs in the United States. And I took on this job for multiple reasons. And I see you guys leaving comments over there. I am 100% going to address all of your comments and questions after I finish this story. And I really appreciate everybody stepping in and hearing me out. And I'm sorry, this is a bit of a heavy episode. I'm trying to lighten it up a little. But this is my why. This is my reason. So I stepped into one of the most physically demanding jobs in the United States and went out to the oil field. Now, I went out to the oil field to test myself, to prove to myself. I had lost so much self-love. I had lost so much manhood. I had lost so much self-respect. And my self-talk was so bad that I had to take on something that would allow me to prove to myself that I'm still worthy. And so I took on a job in the oil field. I was a wireline operator out there. For anybody that knows anything about the oil field, I'll give you a little inside baseball. I was a wireline operator in the oil field. We worked 20 days on, 10 days off. A lot of times we would work through those 10 days and do a 50-day run. We would work 16 to 20 hours a day, 7 days a week until our time off. And again, sometimes we work through our days off. So coming from doing stem cells, eating this diet, touch and go at the gym, now I'm in the oil field. And I remember after day one in the oil field, I had to go to Walmart. And I was so fucking beat up. I was having a hypoglycemic attack. I have my cart in front of me, leaning over the cart, could barely walk because I had huge blisters on the bottom of both of my feet. My ankles were swollen. My knees were fucked up. My shoulders, I'd never twisted pipe wrenches like that before. And I walked through with my head down on the shopping cart. And it took me about an hour, hour and a half to go get some groceries for the next day. And I woke up and I did it again. And I woke up and I did it again. And I woke up and I did it again. And I did that because, again, I needed to prove to myself that I was worthy, that I still had my manhood, and that I could earn respect from hard work from the people around me. Because I didn't know if I was capable anymore after what I had been through. So in 6 months of me being there, I became a lead operator, which a lot of my friends that I worked alongside were lead operators, and it took them years to get to those positions. I worked my fucking ass off. I woke up before everybody, made sure my whole crew was ready to go. After every single job, we'd build these giant pipe bombs and we break down. They're called barrels. After every single shift, I would spend the extra hour and a half to 2 hours to go drive all of our barrels off the location. And that earned me a lead position out there. And it was the most gratifying, it was the most fulfilling, and feeling that respect from people because of what I had done in the short period of time. And nobody knew my story. Nobody knew where I came from. I kept that shit under wraps. But I knew that I just came from absolutely nothing and just was stripped of everything, and I had to rebuild. And I'm really happy that I did, because it gave me a new sense of confidence in myself as an individual. And when I was sick, completely stripped me of an ego that I didn't even realize that I had until after the fact. So that leads us to today, where I'm a type 1 diabetic who also suffers from Crohn's disease. I still have both. They don't just go away. And I'm here trying to make an impact and give back and spread wisdom, love, and hopefully my story can help somebody else who needs to take one day at a time. If they've been stripped of everything, it's never too late. And it just takes a little bit of grit and a little bit of time. And if you just never bite off more than you can chew and start with baby bites, you can really accomplish so much. And I hope that this inspires somebody out there. You know what? I'm going to show you guys a photo of myself at 120 pounds. I really want to show you guys just behind the curtains. Like I said, I want my audience to be along for the ride. I want you guys to be able to, oh God, this is really hard to look at. Hopefully relate. And let me show you when I was at my sickest at 120 pounds. Like I said, this is tough for me to even look at. Oh boy. But yeah, this is me at 120 pounds, basically on my deathbed. And now I'm walking around at anywhere from 172 to 175 pounds. And I'm so grateful that these two diseases didn't take me out, because now I'm here with a platform, able to connect with people and show them that there is a way. If you have grit and you have support, there is a way. So anyways, that's that photo. And I really appreciate you guys listening to my story. Like I said, I've never told it in full, and I'm sure I left out a bunch of details. But I'm going to go ahead and go through the comments here, and let's open some discussion between us. I really do appreciate you guys being here and hearing me out. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Let's go through some comments. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again for all the support. Kayla Coffee, I see you out there. I'm so happy you made it through. I love you so much. I love you too, Kayla. And I couldn't have done what I did without your help. I met Kayla 6 years ago, and she was there by my side when I was so sick. And she just did not want to leave my side. And we come back 5.5, 6 years later, and I went home to get help because I needed it. And she was here. And now I get to call her my girlfriend. And I am just such a lucky person because she's so perfect. And I'm just happy that we get to build something together. So I love you too, baby. Tomcat, we see you out there. He says, stem cells are dope. Yes, they are. I just got off the phone with my uncle earlier, actually. And he had said that his girlfriend just went and got stem cells in her knee and I believe her lower back. And her hair is growing thicker. Her nails are growing thicker. Her skin is looking better. Her knee is doing better. Her back is feeling better. Her arthritis is going away. Stem cells are dope. You are right. Tomcat. Does this dude take beef liver? By this dude, he says, does this dude take beef liver? By this dude, I assume you mean me. And yes, I do in capsule form. I tried to eat it back when I was on the actual carnivore diet, and I just couldn't stomach it. I couldn't do it. So I don't know. Maybe you guys have a good way of preparing beef liver because I would like to. It's just so freaking packed of nutrients. And I would love to be able to eat it just for the health benefits, but I take capsules. Probably not quite as nutrient dense, but yeah. That's what it was. Tomcat says, what job? I was a wireline operator in the oil field. So we built massive pipe bombs and we called them barrels. You'd spin the barrels together with a giant steel sub in the middle that would hold the barrels. You'd lift that up with a crane and you drop those huge guns about 5 miles deep. And then they get pushed with water all the way underground. Then a logger would blow up the barrels, which would perforate the line, and they suck the oil out. So, yeah, we were wireline operators. Tough gig. And, I mean, I destroyed my body out there. And it was in North Dakota. So, it'd be -30 with a -60-degree wind chill. And as a diabetic, you don't have very good circulation. I had a bunch of hardware in my ankle, a bunch of screws and nuts and bolts. I never complained about it. Nobody ever knew about it. But when it was negative temperatures, which all winter it is, that shit would hurt so bad. And it would seize up on me. And I'd come home and I forget what it's called, but my leg would be so swollen and I'd press on it and my fingerprint would go in like an inch and just stay there for 10 minutes. I forget what that's called. Maybe somebody in the chat can help me out with that. But I was just overworking my body. It was hard to stay hydrated because if you're not working, people can die. So yeah, it was wild. Tomcat says, I hope you made some cash in the oil field. I mean, I think, yeah, we made some cash for sure. You don't put somebody, and it's not even like we made crazy hourly wages, but you're working 20 hours a day, 7 days a week for 20 days in a row. So even if the wage was $5 an hour, you're working so much overtime that it's good money. And if anybody wants to go to the oil field, I can connect you. I mean, it's good work if you need to save some cash real quick. And Kayla Coffee Studios. And if you don't follow Kayla Coffee Studios, go follow her on Instagram. She's about to fire up a bunch of new artwork. Her art studio is all set up. And Kayla Coffee Studios. Go check out her stuff. She's going to be full-fledged artiste here soon. So we're looking forward to that. Tomcat says beef liver tablets rock. That's where I'm at. I mean, I think you mean pills, right? Because that's what I take, the beef liver capsules. I take 4 of them a day and they do rock. I feel great. Maybe someday I can run you guys through the stack of things that I do take to help with my body and cognitive function and hair growth and all these things. But I do have quite the stack of things, including NMN and resveratrol and some really like lucrative, I don't want to say anti-aging, but they're things that help with your mitochondria and cellular regrowth and things like that. So maybe someday I can run you guys through that stack if that's something you're interested in. Tomcat says, what is your current height and weight? So I am 5'11 and 170, I think it was 172 pounds today, but I fluctuate 170 to 175 and feeling real strong. So that's good. And I, like I said, in that story, I got down to 120 pounds. So I was a real frail individual. Tomcat says, you look like a vegan or something back then. I know. Yeah. I looked like I was dying for sure. And I don't know if that's a stab at vegans, but if being a vegan works for you, who cares? You know, if it works for you and you feel good being a vegan, more power to you. I just happen to feel great running off fat in a state of ketosis. And being that I'm a diabetic, that's such a low carb diet, or no carb really, unless you have a little bit of honey. But it's such a low carb diet that I really felt like a freaking superhero, waking up in the morning with energy, just bouncing out of bed. The hardest part of that diet for me, though, was keeping fat on the body. I was down to 3.2% body fat, not healthy. So I had to bounce off of there and start getting some fat back in my system. Let's see. Seizure Boy 420. I'm also dealing with a lot. You can say Crohn's, seizure disorder, and NF1 7-inch tumor in my lower back, but I still make it through each day. Oh man. I'm sorry you're going through that, brother, but listen, you are exactly right. You just take this one day at a time. And if there's anything that we can do to support you, you let us know, because what you're talking about is not easy. I can only imagine the pain that you go through. And, you know, I want to know how people helping people can support you guys. So just continue to do what you're doing, man, and know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And if you just keep pushing, try eliminating anything processed in your diet if you can. And, you know, just give yourself the best edge that you possibly can to make the most of what you can. I appreciate you commenting and jumping in the chat with us here. David Castillo, type 1 brother. I see you out there. Great show, brother. I love you, my guy. Great show, my brother. He says, thank you. You know, that means a lot. Gosh, I don't know if I'm going to regret freaking getting emotional on a live stream, but that was a tough one. God, I haven't had to relive a lot of that in a long time, which is a good thing. So, but I appreciate you guys listening, and I appreciate the feedback. David Castillo, he's out there. He's a fellow type 1 diabetic. That is my diet brother right there. And, you know, if you didn't see our chat about type 1 diabetes, go to the youtube.com/@ people helping people live. Go and watch David Castillo and I have a discussion as two type 1 diabetics and really just lay it all out. We had such a good time. We talked about the highs, the lows, pun intended, and it was really a great discussion. I can't wait to have David back on because he's been through a lot and he's got a lot of wisdom to share. So we love you, brother. Thank you for being a part of the show. Tanner Surratt, what's up, George? Ted, my guy. He's in the stream right now. I love you, bro. It's good to see you. And if you guys have any questions too, please ask in the stream. We just went through my whole life story. Well, maybe not even close to my whole life story, but we went through my story of being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and Crohn's at 28 years old. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I have not drank since January 14th of 2019. I completely cut that out of my life because I don't know if I could manage drinking and being a diabetic. I don't know. I've never tried. So I've completely cut that out of my life. And it's been super fruitful as well. So if anybody else out there, I don't like to say that I'm sober because I did it for health reasons and I drank on weekends before. But if anybody out there is sober, shout out to you. And it takes a long time to learn how to go and do things sober. You know, you don't realize like when you go out and dance but I'm fine now. So we're all good. Tisa Rat, I love you, brother. Thank you for coming in. Tomcat, shout out Kayla. For real, shout out Kayla. Kayla Coffee Studios. Go follow her. She's freaking awesome. And she's going to have so much art for you guys. And we're going to have a little screen up here when she gets the studio completely set up and she's back in her groove where you guys can just tune in, watch her create, you know? So that'll be super fun. Tomcat says, can you share? Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, I skipped one. Seizure Boy 420. I work out, eat right, push hard, and it helps me make it through every day. Dude. As you should. That is beautiful, man. Continue that, and continue to help other people do the same. Like, that's beautiful, man. You got a lot on your plate, and it sounds like you just continue to just take one day at a time and do the best that you can do. You know, you're not always going to beat yourself the day before. That's okay. As long as you do the best you can do and eating right and move your body. I always say the first step to death is complacency. So move your body. And man, it sounds like you're doing all the right things. And I appreciate you being in here with us and sharing some of your story, man. Tomcat, can you share your stack? Yes, not right now, but I will share my stack because I think I have, you know, probably 10 pills that I take a day. You know, anything from NMN, like I said, resveratrol, TMG. I can just go off the top of my head. Some beef liver, D3, K2, L-tyrosine. Yeah, that's it for now. But yeah, it's a crazy stack. Tomcat says, sounds like a dangerous job. At least you still got all your fingers. Thank God. I did get frostbite on my ear though. And I have both my ears. So just that's a good thing. But I got frostbite bad on my left ear, and I got frostbite on my fingertips, not quite as bad. But when they get cold, even a little bit cold, it takes like 6 hours to warm them back up. So the damage is done. Fuck you, oil field. I mean, it's such a double-edged sword. You gave me all the tools to be able to do what I'm able to do now, but still, you totally destroyed me in multiple physical ways. So we made some sacrifices out there. 857 Tucson. Yeah, that is Damien over there. He is the man. We had him on the stream as well a few days ago. So if you want to catch up with Damien, we had a great sit down conversation about what he's got going on, what his goals are in the future. And really, we just embodied what people helping people is all about and just dove into how we can help support Damien in any which way. And yeah, he runs the 857 Tucson Facebook page. Thank you for, he says, hey guys, thanks for sharing your story of recovery, Alexander. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Like I said, I haven't opened those wounds in a long time. So it was kind of tough for me to get through that. But I really do appreciate you guys stepping in and listening. Tomcat says, are you talking about Charlie horse? Those can be super painful. Hydration. I don't remember what that was in reference to. That was about 10 minutes ago. Let's see. Seizure Boy 420, 2020 had 4 brain surgeries to help fix the seizures, and it somewhat did. Gosh, I don't have my glasses, you guys. I'm really sorry. Oh, I see. Okay, so he had 4 brain surgeries, and it did help, but not completely. Still stuck with meals. Let's see, and still having seizures, just not as often. Man, that's really tough. That is really tough. I think the only time that I've ever experienced anybody having seizures, which I think everybody should be trained on how to deal with somebody who's having seizures, because it's so scary, so scary. You know, I was in the ICU. And the guy next to me was having grand mal seizures consistently, like probably every hour or so. And I remember screaming at the nurses, like this guy needs help right now. You know, he's clenching his teeth so hard that you can almost hear his teeth breaking. It was awful. So nothing but love for you, my brother. And thank you for coming in and leaving a comment with us. Tomcat says, impressive body transformation. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Yeah. From 120 pounds on up to 172 as of yesterday. And we are not looking to gain any more weight. We're looking to maintain. We're looking to stay healthy. We're looking to feel fit. And I'm in my mid 30s now. So I'm good. I am good. I'm feeling good, and that's what it's all about. Endeavor to preserve says, dude, with some cool glasses on. Yeah, dude, I'm with you. Let's see. Bugs 420 ounce says, you're doing great work, dude. Thank you. Thank you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I just want to help people so damn much. So this is the epitome of everything I've ever learned, with the production company. I started Type 1 production to hopefully give back to people with type 1 diabetes. And I still want to do that with this show. I still want to give back, but I have the production company. I've been making music my whole life and filming and taking pictures, and all of that boils down to this: people helping people. And I get to put all those skills that I thought were just throwaways and dang it, this didn't work out or that didn't work out. And I get to put them into one show. So thank you, Bugs 420 OZ. I love the name, man. That's great. Tomcat says, alcohol is empty calories. It really is. Yeah. And, I say that when I'm 60 years old and I'm sitting on my piece of land and I got a nice little porch with a nice porch swing, maybe I'll crack open, some whiskey. I'll have some whiskey on the rocks with a nice cigar. But until then, I feel better without booze. I don't need booze to go out and have fun anymore. A couple of years, it's like working out for real. I had to go out and force myself not to drink and have fun. And it wasn't easy. How can I be social without a couple of drinks? But you learn. It's a skill and you learn. Tanner Surratt says, thank you for being strong and pulling through, brother. The world is better with you in it. Oh, come on. I've done enough I've done enough tearing up this episode. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Seizure Boy 420 says, it's a lot better now. I used to have seizures daily. Now it's like one every month. Dang. That's like I said, that's such a scary thing. And I think, again, it's really important for people to go to a class to, one, know how to administer CPR. To know how to administer CPR, I cannot tell you how fucking important that is. When shit hits the fan and somebody needs help, somebody's got to step up. You need to know how to do the Heimlich, help somebody who's having a seizure, and administer CPR. Those three things. When people are scrambling and you know what to do, take control of the situation and help a human being out, you can save a life. So I cannot emphasize that enough. They're super, super important. Also, Seizure Boy 420 says, also was on 6 meds before surgery, now only 3. Good for you. We love it. Keep it up, man. I would love for you to just keep checking back in with us and letting us know how you're doing, because that is amazing, man. That is amazing. Yeah. I'm taking 0 medication besides insulin. I was on a huge stack of meds, and I am on 0 medication now because of my lifestyle. Do I still struggle? Yeah. Do I still have stomach pains? Yes. Do I still have to take insulin and watch out for highs and lows? Absolutely. But I'm off of all prescriptions. I am off of all prescription drugs that they told me I had to be on for the rest of my fucking life. And we did it. We made it. So Alicia Surratt, we see you out there. I'm super happy for you, Alex. She says, thank you. And I love you guys. I miss you guys. I'm going to be in Oregon in September. So if anybody, any of my people from Oregon are watching the show, I'm going to be in Oregon in September. So I hope to see you guys. I hope to get to reconnect with my people. Yeah. And, you know, this has been a crazy episode. I'm just surprised that I came on and talked about all this stuff. I don't know if I should be bashful or proud, but I sure hope it helps somebody, you know. Smoking Molly Collie. He says, I got to smoke a cig now. BRB. Get it, brother. Get it. And that's my one addiction, you know, no shame. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I'm still addicted to nicotine. I have been for, 20 some odd years. That's my one vice. I don't drink. I don't really do anything else, but I definitely need my nicotine. So there's that. I just take my little nicotine pouches and it's good to go. But in any event, I want to shout out our sponsors real quick. Let's jump over there and give some love to the people that are loving on us. And thank y'all for coming into the show as well. All right, here we go. This one's for you, T-Town. This episode of People Helping People Live is sponsored by T-Town Boxing, Tucson's home for boxing, kickboxing, and recovery classes for all ages. T-Town Boxing isn't just a gym. It's a community where you can build confidence, discipline, lifelong skills, whether you're stepping into the ring for the first time or sharpening your techniques. From kids to adults, beginners to experienced fighters, T-Town Boxing offers a space to grow, train, and challenge yourself. So, if you're ready to push your limits and join an amazing community, reach out to T-Town Boxing on Instagram at instagram.com/T-Town Boxing or their website, boxingtucson.com. Again, instagram.com/T-Town Boxing or their website, boxingtucson.com. Back to the show. God dang, T-Town. Oh, sorry. I bet that was really loud. God dang, T-Town. We love you guys. Jake over there at T-Town, he runs an awesome gym. So we really appreciate your support, and we are proud to be representing T-Town Boxing here in Tucson. Let's see. I'm going to jump into a few more comments. If anybody has any questions, I'm willing to just run this. If people have questions for me, I'm willing to run this show as long as we need to. If we die out of community outreach and comments, then we'll just end the live. But again, I just shared that story with you all, and I appreciate you listening. And Boogs 420 OZ, he says, be proud, brother. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And that is for you guys. I don't like to share that stuff. I don't like to share that stuff often. So you guys, I hope to hook something from that. I hope that a little bit of triumph in your life, hearing that it's doable, can help you through whatever you got going on. Miguel Vasquez, dude, I cannot wait to get you on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, he is an incredible artist, or musician, I should say, or hip hop artist. And we're going to have him on the show soon. So I'm really looking forward to that. Miguel Vasquez says, let's see. Gosh, I need glasses, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sharing your story, brother. Much respect. Thank you, dude. Thank you. I didn't know how that would be received, to be honest. So that really means a lot to hear the feedback. Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Kayla Coffee Studio says, how's your coffee? How's your coffee? My coffee's delicious. Speaking of coffee and being healthy and all these things, my girlfriend has made the most delicious chocolate that's just like 5 healthy ingredients. No, gosh, what is the word I'm even looking for? No preservatives, no foods that are synthetic. I mean, it's just like the most delicious, delicious. I can't talk anymore. You know, that was a tough show for me, guys. Yeah, but anyways, a super healthy chocolate. Maybe we could do a little cooking segment. Would you guys be into that? Do a little cooking segment where we show you the healthiest chocolate in the world. Or, gosh, what else does she make? She makes a killer, delicious, all fresh watermelon mojito with, obviously it's virgin, but it's so good. And yeah, now I'm drinking this amazing coffee that she made me before the show. So I love you, baby. Thank you for doing that. We can enjoy it together. It's so good. Endeavor to pressure. How much has your insulin price dropped? I have been hoarding insulin for a long time. I was on state provided insurance. When I was in the oil field, I was insured through the company that I was working through the oil field. So I never really saw the prices. But from what I understand, and this is a big deal, is that they capped insulin at $30 per vial. A huge deal for type 1 diabetics. So instead, because it used to be like 280, 350 for one vial. And you can go through a vial in 2 or 3 days. So they capped insulin at $30 a vial. And I don't know if that's nationwide or not. I'm pretty sure it is. But that was a beautiful thing to have happen in the United States. And I'm so, so glad it did. And being that I have insurance now, I don't know how much I pay. I wish I could give you a great answer for that. But thank you for asking. Endeavor to preserve. That is a great question. Seizure Boy 420. I love when people like you make stuff like this so people like us can share our stories and support each other. Big thanks. Dude, that's for you, buddy. I couldn't agree more. This show is absolutely nothing without the community. And speaking of which, if you guys do want to support the show, I think there's a few ways. I figured it out. The last show I did, I was like, I don't even know how you can support me. There's a few different ways. If you're watching on Facebook, I guess Facebook, you can send stars. So like say 50 stars is like 50 cents or something like that. That, I guess, if you feel inclined to do so, we would love it. We're doing this for free. We're doing it because we want to really help people helping people. That's why we're here. And then on YouTube, if you're watching from over there, you can send super stickers. So, and the other ways that you can do it, because we need to grow. We need to grow as a team and a community. Go to the Instagram. It's running right here at the bottom at People Helping People Live. And then subscribe to the YouTube. I know there's a lot of asks, but just those two things are the only things I ask. If you want to donate, you can. Like I said, we're doing this for free. We're doing this for the good of the people and hoping to bring you some value. But youtube.com/@symbol. You can see it right here. @ People Helping People Live. So Instagram.com, People Helping People Live, and YouTube.com @ People Helping People Live. Awesome. Tammy C, we see you. And sorry, I think last stream I called you Tommy because I don't have glasses. So today, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to get some glasses so we can read. That's what we're going to do. So I can call people by their proper names. No Name Joe Blow. Seriously think about parasites causing illness. Ivermectin handles it. Oh, that's so interesting you say that. I literally was just talking to Kayla night before last, and I said I want to learn how a human is supposed to ingest ivermectin, because I believe that all of us have worms in our body. And from what I understand, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't want to be spreading false information, but if you own dogs, they say 100% of dog owners are carrying worms in their body. So I am going to learn how to take ivermectin, and you let me be the petri dish, and I will report back to you guys on how it affects me, not only as a diabetic, but somebody with Crohn's disease, and see if there's a real flush or not. I don't think I have parasites, but I might. Who knows? You may too. So I'm going to learn how to dose ivermectin properly and try it out, because I have heard that. Thank you for the comment. No name Joe Blow. I love the name, by the way. That's great. Let's see. Endeavor to preserve. Thank you guys for being so stinking communicative. This is great. I really appreciate everybody that's joining the stream and leaving comments and asking questions. Like, this is fun. Watching the show for at least 8 minutes. Endeavor to preserve says, watching the show for at least 8 minutes. Subscribe and hit the like button for you, dude. For YouTube. There you go. Nice. Thank you. That's for you. That is for you. Heck yeah. Marcos Ybarra. Hopefully I said that right. Marcos Ybarra says, I subscribed to the People Helping People Live. Dude, you guys are seriously making my night. This stream is really something special. And for everybody that sat through me telling my story, and I really appreciate you guys. But I really just wanted to get out why this means so much to me, why I'm doing what I'm doing, my purpose. And as we continue to grow, I want this show to be able to add so much value, not only to the people watching, but anybody sitting down next to me or having a call with me. What if I could change the small business owner's life just by coming on this show? If we had enough engagement and enough people that wanted to be a part of this community, what if they sat down and showed off their baking goods, their mechanic shop, their music, their art, their paintings, their sculptures, and it changed their life because of one interview? That's what we're trying to grow here. That's what we're trying to do, is make the biggest impact with every single show that we possibly can. And so anybody that's out there that is subscribing, I'm going to shout you all out. Every single person that subscribes, leave me a comment. You know what? And if you go and you follow the Instagram at People Helping People Live and subscribe to the YouTube @ People Helping People Live on YouTube, I'm going to do a giveaway. I don't know if you guys want a shirt with this logo on it. I think it'd be better without my face, to be honest. If you guys want a shirt with my face and the logo on it, we can do that. But I'll let you guys decide. I'm going to give away a shirt. And that will be the launch of our merchandise as well. We're just dropping all kinds of gems this show. We're going to do everything. So we're going to have merchandise. We're going to have shirts. Let me know in the comments if you go and you subscribe or follow those pages. And the next show, I'll go ahead and go through these, and we will enter people in to win some merchandise from People Helping People Live. We appreciate you guys. Let's see. Marcos Ybarra says, he says, what's the Instagram page? It's right here on the bottom. If you look at this banner at the bottom here, it shows, it's just Instagram.com/People Helping People Live. It's basically the same as the YouTube, except for the YouTube has the @ before it. I don't know. But yeah, right there. People Helping People Live. Thank you for asking, Marcos. Appreciate you. Tammy C, that is so cool. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to do as much as we can with what we've got. And I have completely converted my entire home into four different studios now. We have a loungy podcasting area. So if we have multiple guests, we can all sit around on a couch and have cool lighting and have a sit-down conversation. And then I have the music studio set up over there. So if I have musicians in here, we can record music together. And I have this, which is like the more formal setup. So I'm really excited about it. And then in the garage is a full art studio. So we are all in on this, and your guys' support means everything. Bugs 420 OZ says, hell yeah. Ow! I'm with you. I'm really excited about this. Marcos Yabara, I hope I'm saying that right. Marcos Yabara says, I followed it on Instagram also. My guy, consider yourself entered in to win some merchandise. John Denmark, thank you for joining us, and thank you for the question. He asked, how was your 4th of July? Great question. I came home with all my limbs, no DUIs, so it was great. No, we did a live show yesterday. It was short, sweet, to the point, because Kayla and I, we wanted to go see some fireworks. It was the 4th of July, and I made the commitment to give you guys 30 live shows in 30 days, and I'm not missing a day. So we did the live show really quickly. She was on featured as an artist, and we gave a little inside look of what her art studio is looking like. It was exciting. And then we jumped in the truck and we ripped downtown so we could go catch the tail end of some fireworks. And it was just that. It was fireworks, man. It was great. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that, John. Cliff Allen, my brother, how are you? He's jumping in here. Thank you for joining us. He says, crap, looks like I missed a good one. Gonna have to rewatch this. Miss your face, man. Oh, dude. Thank you for joining us. It's never too late. And the beauty of these shows, you just jump back to the beginning. You can just hit the old rewind button, pop the VCR in backwards, hit it, and just pow. But anyways, I appreciate y'all being in here. And you know what? This has been great. We have run out of comments. Thank you guys for being so stinking interactive. Like, that is what makes this show special. This is why I like to do it live, is because we can have individuals in here communicating with us live as we move. I mean, that's super fun. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. I really appreciate all the questions, all the comments, and for listening to my story. Again, I didn't realize, I didn't realize how heavy it would be to share. I didn't realize how heavy it would be to kind of talk about that stuff again. So I thank you guys for sitting in with me and listening. And it really does mean the world. Seizure Boy 420 says, I followed it too. My guy. Definitely have you entered in to win some merchandise. Dylan Harris, what's up, bro? Thank you for joining us. Sorry I missed the show. I'll check it out later. Keep killing it out there, Alex. Dude, I appreciate you, brother. Okay. Oh, we're getting such a good little tribe up in here. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. I'm overwhelmed, and I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. And this life is beautiful. It's a garden, so go dig it, as Joe Dirt would say. I love you guys. All right. We are going to play the outro, and we will see y'all tomorrow. We went for an hour 20. Holy smokes. Time flies when you're having fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another amazing episode of People Helping People. Deuces. Yeah. What's everybody fighting for? Why can't people help people? That's the question.